Okay, so today we're going to look at the back patio cover. We've uncovered a lot of it and looked at the structure. So what you're looking at is the part that is directly outside of the master bedroom window. I'm pointing at the master bedroom window right now. So as we pan up and see, essentially you're looking at a pretty good wood structure. This is the structure in front of the master bedroom. All of this wood looks dry. All of this wood looks like it's in fairly good condition. Then when we get to here, you realize that there is no beam here. Now this is one big major structural problem that I see and the framer sees, and possibly we're going to have to address this depending upon what you decide to do with the entire structure. Let's come down this way. Now we get to the not so good news. From about this point forward, this entire structure is compromised. It's been wet before, and a big part of the reason why it's wet is because of the way that the valley joins the existing pitch up above the garage. And so water is getting in, and this has been repaired before. You can look and see this was eventually, this originally was some skylights that I think that they filled in. So you see, everywhere you see new plywood, that's where there's been a repair. And then here you can look and see, this is the worst of the actors right here. This rafter is actually cracked. And if you can see, panning back, Spencer, you can actually see that the entire roof dips down from about here and has this big dip in it right here. So at least if we're going to save this structure, about 40% of this is going to have to be torn out and completely redone. Part of the problem with this is that the pitch on this is less than 412. In other words, you should not use asphalt shingles on any pitch less than 412. This pitch is about 2.512. And the problem is where the roof that comes down from the garage and this meet, there is not a good valley. And the water is getting underneath this consistently. And the problem is that these shingles don't have enough slope in order to adequately shed that water. And so this water pools, and this is why it gets underneath and does this damage. So we need to kind of talk through this a little bit. I think you may be looking at redoing the back patio cover completely here. So I've got Benito putting some numbers together on creating a gable that comes out, which is what we were originally first talking about, kind of like we designed for the front of the house. It would come out, it would have a beautiful beam structure in the middle with columns coming down, be a proper patio cover, and I think that's going to be the better option to go with. But I'm putting the numbers together right now. Let's come inside. I'll show you the rest. First, I want you to pan back into the backyard, and I want you to know you have lots of brick. That's all the salvageable brick from the fireplace, and there's another big pile over here by the garage. And then inside the garage, there's also a lot of bricks. So we have lots of opportunity to use those bricks as pavers. So let's walk inside. Here you see the bathtub we removed from the hall bath. I'll shut this door. Come into the laundry room, you can see now this has all been totally removed. And this is where we were talking about putting the shelves right here for your new pantry. You can see we're gonna have to cut this back and cut this back, redo this sheetrock right here so that we can have a nice flat surface to do the shelves. You may need to consider doing a smaller refrigerator here. The big refrigerator, I think, is going to take up quite a bit of room in here, in terms of if we set it this way, then you're not going to have very much room to get to these shelves. If we set it this way, it may be the better option. But again, those doors are going to come out to about here, and that kind of doesn't give you a lot of room for the shelves. So we got some things to work out there. I think the answer may be a smaller refrigerator here. And you'll see here we took the cabinets out. We took out the soffit for the laundry room. And of course, we'll repair all that and make it look nice and clean, and it'll overall make the room look much higher, much bigger. Into the kitchen. Now you may notice that everything is out, everything is clean. All the appliances have been loaded into the garage. Both of these soffits have been removed. All of the sheetrock has been removed from these walls on both sides. This is where the pantry was. You can see that what we'll end up doing is we'll end up moving the water for the ice maker over here, so you can nest the new refrigerator location here. We'll end up moving gas over here so that you can put your 36-inch range and exhaust out of the exterior wall here. These soffits have been removed, and again, we've got some sheetrock repair to do. But once we figure all the beams out, then we'll know exactly what is happening with all of the walls in here. There's the new home for the refrigerator temporarily. Now we'll come back into the hall bath, and you can see, sorry, the master bath. Here you can see now the shower is completely demoed, and you can get an idea of what we're looking at in terms of the potential for the shower. So the shower would come out to about here, let's say. And so now you can see that that shower would be pretty close to 4 foot square. This is where we're talking about putting the wall right about here, and then putting the commode right here with a door to the outside so it can function both as a pool bath and a water closet for the master. And then we would have to relocate this vent pipe so that we can then put a door here. And that's a fairly major expense, but I have the plumber quoting that as we speak. Again, this soffit has been removed. This wall will be coming out. And I think I have mentioned the repair that we have to do to the wall structure for the termites. Okay, here we've made a jump from the master bathroom to the garage. And yesterday, this was completely filled with trash, and all of that has been loaded into the dumpster. And this is the way that we leave our job sites, nice and clean and orderly. And again, another pile of bricks, as we said. So that's it for today. We'll talk on